and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then welcome. Today's video is my cat picks my makeup. And that's how this video goes. So like I said, in today's video my cat will be picking my makeup. There is fur flying around everywhere now. That is Miss Zelda. She is nearly 5 and she has the most crippling anxiety. If you try and get her, she will cry and scream and run away, which proved difficult for this video, and we will get into that. But let's just start from the beginning. Let's see what she picks for foundation. So the two options were the Revolution Conceal and Glow foundation that I don't really enjoy, but I've only played with once or twice, so I can't really remember, and the NYX Born to Glow foundation. This is one of my absolute favourites, so let's see what she picks. So she chooses the NYX, which I was happy about because I really don't get on with the Revolution one, but she picked the NYX, so that's fine by me. So I do already have my usual primer on, which is the L'Oreal one, and I'll just put a little bit of this all over my face. So I really enjoy that foundation because it just sort of blanks everything out, but it still looks really natural, it's still really glowy, it feels really hydrating, and that's why it's one of my favourites, so I'm really glad that she picked that one. So next is concealer. We have the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate and the Collection Lasting Perfection concealer. I have only ever played with the Collection one once or twice, but I did really enjoy it, and the Revolution one is one of my favourites, so let's see what she chooses this time. I did have to keep tempting her back into the room by shaking the bag of treats because she kept trying to leave, but she did end up going for the Collection one, which I'm absolutely fine with. Like I say, I have tried it a couple of times and I'm still sort of forming my opinions on it, but really happy to use it today. Because even though I like the finish of the foundation that she picked, I do have a few little breakouts going on my chin, and this is quite good actually for under my eyes. It's just enough coverage for what I like. So that concealer has just completely beiged me out, which is what you want. So next up is contour. We have the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Sculpt Cream Contour, which is my favourite. And then in the back of my makeup collection, I found this, which is the She Glam Colours and Sculpt Stick, which is the one from Shein that I tested last summer. So let's see which one she picks out of these. So she picked the Shein one, which I can't actually remember what I think of this. I think it was okay. I'm not sure on the colour. It looks a little bit warm for a contour, but we'll give it a go. So I'm just going to do it under my cheeks. That is quite dark. Okay, I might just blend that out before it manages to sit there for too long. It is a little bit patchy, but maybe I put too much on. I'll try going with a lighter hand on the other side. This packaging is awful as well. It's like falling apart, or it sounds like it's falling apart anyway. But can you complain about cheap packaging when I'm sure this cost me like £2.50 or something ridiculous like that. It's fine. It's not the best colour for a contour. It is more bronzy. It is quite warm toned, but fine. So next is eyebrows. I got her to choose the eyebrows next. So as you can see, she was being a little diva, sitting outside and not wanting to come and choose an eyebrow product. I mean, it's just rude, really. So I tempted her with the treats, and eventually I just got up and collared her, basically. I grabbed her, brought her back into the room, and I mean, this is where it all sort of goes downhill. She just runs away and climbs under the bed. She eventually comes back out, sits by the door, and she chooses the Revolution Brow Pen that I really don't like. So the choices were the Revolution Brow Pen in medium brown, or my Shein brow pencil that I use all the time, and I think this is in dark brown. My problem with this, and I will talk while I apply it, my problem with this is that it's a very, very warm colour, and it also doesn't show up incredibly well on my skin. It is a very sheer coverage of colour, and I like quite a dark, quite an intense brow. So it's not my favourite, but we will make it work because Zelda wanted me to have orange brows today. That is the colour that it comes off on my skin. It just doesn't look great when I just like something that's a lot more cool toned, but this is very orange. I like the idea of it because it does give very thin hair-like strokes, but the colour, I don't know if you can tell, but the colour is just way off. Another problem that I had with this is that it just collects up all of my like foundation and concealer in the actual nib, because it's like a felt tip, not a felt tip, it's like a brush tip, and it just collects all of my foundation and stuff in it, and then it doesn't draw on anymore. But they are the best that I can do with that one. So let's go back to the clips that I filmed a couple of days ago, and this is what happens next. She's hiding under the bed. So I get the bronzers and I lay them out in front of her, and I get her to choose, and I push them under the bed, and she goes for the MUA bronzer that I have had for absolutely years and years. This is actually probably a good choice because the contour was a little bit warm, but this is more cool toned, so I can sort of use this as a bronze cool toned contour sort of shade. I can try and make this work. She's not done too badly so far. Apart from the fact that in between all of these clips, like, it's a minute for you in editing world, but this took all afternoon. And when I say all afternoon, I think it took me like 2 or 3 hours just to get her to choose one or the other, because she was hiding under the bed and she was running around the room, and I had closed the door so that she couldn't get out, and she was just crying at the door, wanting to be out. And then as soon as I let her out and I gave up, she came back in again and hid under the bed again. So she wants to be in the room, she just doesn't want to cooperate. I feel like that has rescued it a little bit. That bronzer is more of a contour, but that's rescued it a little bit, I feel. So I do the same thing with blushes. So the choices were my Flower Beauty blush. That is one of my favourites. I am reaching for this all of the time at the minute. I find that it's a really good shade for me in winter. And the Milani blush in Berry Amore. This is, I think it will really come into its own in summer, but let's see what she chooses. Again, I lay them out in front of her, put a treat on top of each one and push them under the bed, and then she chooses the Flower Beauty, which I'm happy about because I feel like all of these base products actually are turning out quite well. She's choosing a lot of my favourites, so I'm not mad at her for that. So I use a really, really small amount and just add that on near the back of my cheeks. And I just find that this colour just gives me the most beautiful blush of colour for winter. I think in summer I maybe won't choose this one, but in winter I'm really, really enjoying it. And then the last product for the base is highlighter. So I chose the Revolution Jelly Highlighter in Monumental, which is like a beautiful gold shade. I really, really like this one. I don't think I have any highlighters that I don't really, really like, so both of these options were fine by me. And the other one is the Maybelline Face Studio Chrome Extreme in the shade Diamond Glow. So I do the same again. She's still hiding under the bed, and she chose the Diamond Glow, which I think with all of this base, it's like she knew what she was choosing, because I would have chosen all of these base products to go together. So I'm really happy that she chose that one, because I think that that would have been a little bit too warm with this blush. maybe she knew what she was doing. Maybe she knew what she was choosing. But if she didn't know what she was choosing, why would she choose this brow product? And I cannot rave about this highlighter enough. If you want to be seen from outer space, you need this. I literally just tapped into that once and it is the most insane glow. It's so icy, so soft looking on the skin. It's just beautiful. It's definitely one of my favourites. I don't think I could choose an absolute favourite, but this is definitely in like the top 3. You can definitely like sheer it out, like if you wanted it to look really natural, I definitely think you could. That's not my vibe, but if that's your vibe, then you can absolutely do that. But it is just so intense, and I'm here for that. So then we moved from under the bed to on top of the bed, and in between those two clips there was maybe about an hour and a half of her just sitting under the bed crying, which I loved. I mean, it was exactly what I wanted to do with a whole afternoon. But next up was eyeshadow. I had picked a really bright eyeshadow palette from Revolution and a neutrals palette that is from Stila, and I don't think I've ever mentioned that palette on my YouTube channel before, but I got it for my birthday a couple of years ago and I absolutely love it. I think it's going to be what I wear for my wedding day. I really love all of the colours and the formulas are beautiful, but I just don't think I've ever played with it on my channel. So I showed her the two and I said, which one do you want me to play with? And she went straight for the Stila one. So I will be doing some sort of neutral, maybe a bit warm toned brown smoky eye. Iconic. So I think I'm just going to do the lightest shade all over my eye. So then in the transition in my crease, I will use this one. I really like using a really big fluffy brush for my crease. I know a lot of people don't, but I like how it just does it and smokes it out really easily. So I'll just build that up in my crease. These colours just blend together so beautifully. They are so pigmented, like you need the tiniest little bit, and they just make a beautiful basic smoky eye. But I really love pretty much all of the looks that I have done using this palette, because they're just, the formulas are just so nice. They take no work at all to blend together. They're insane. So that is it, just a basic warm toned smoky eye, but these colours blend together so nicely. I'm really not mad. Obviously she had the choice of the bright palette or the brown palette and she chose this one, so there's only so many things that I can do with that. The next options that I gave her were for liquid eyeliner. So the choices were either the Maybelline Hyper Precise All Day Liquid Liner in Forest Brown or my old faithful Shein Black Diamond something, I can't remember the name of it, but I absolutely love this one and I haven't used this one in forever, so I can't remember what I think of the brown one. Again, showed her both of them and she chose the Shein one. She is really on my side today. She knows which ones I like and which ones I don't like, so she chose the Shein and we're gonna go with that. It is no secret around here that that is my absolute favourite. It's so easy to use, it's so black. I will probably be wearing this on my wedding day as well, because I have worn this and watched Marley and Me and it stayed on. So if it can stay on through Marley and Me, it can stay on through a wedding. All I'm saying. See, it's just so easy. I mean, they're not identical, they never are with me, but so easy to use. I cannot rave about these enough. I have backups upon backups upon backups of these. In fact, there's 2 unopened ones right here. Well, that one's open, but it's still in there. 2 unopened ones of these in my drawers because I cannot be without these. And obviously they come from China, but so good, so good. So the next options that I gave her were for a liquid eyeliner, and this is where it could potentially get interesting, because the options were either the blue eyeliner from Barry M that I tested so long ago and it dyed my eyelids bright blue, but it was like neon blue, or the Collection Glam Crystals in the shade Cosmic Stars. So it was either a bright blue or a really nice subtle glitter. And again, she is still on the bed at this point, and I show her the two, and she goes straight for the collection. So this is basically at this point turning into exactly how I'm going to do my wedding makeup. And I will just point out at this point as well, I had been filming for about 3 hours because she just wasn't playing ball. So I'm just going to put this sort of all over like the inner bit of my lid, which is basically what I'm going to be doing for my wedding day. I'm absolutely wearing a glittery eyeshadow, and I will just put that, not use it as an eyeliner, I just sort of apply it and blend it out like a liquid eyeshadow more than anything. And when this catches the light, it's got all different colours of glitter in it. It's so pretty, but really subtle at the same time. I just love it. So I'll just zoom you in a little bit so that you can see that glitter eyeliner. It's so pretty. It's every single colour that you can think of, but it just catches the light beautifully. I love it. So this is where Zelda's involvement finished. I could tell at this point we had been trying to film for about 3 hours. She just wasn't having it. She was getting really stressed out. She was hiding and not coming out, and she has no interest in food, honestly. So trying to get her to cooperate by tempting her with food wasn't working because she just has no interest in those treats. Anyway, maybe it's because they're Morrison's brand and not Dreamies, but she just had no interest at all. She was just not playing ball. I'd had enough, she'd had enough, and the only things left to choose were the lipstick and the mascara. So I decided that because she had treated me so nicely and been so kind as to choose pretty much all of my favourites for this look, I decided that for the mascara and the lipstick I would just choose whichever I wanted. So the options that I had picked out that I was going to show her for the mascara was the L'Oreal Miss Manga Mega Volume. This is a brand new one. I picked it up again. I really like this mascara. I did the side-by-side comparison and there wasn't a lot in it, but I still really like this one, so I picked up another one. Or the Maybelline Lash Sensational. I'm going to try the Miss Manga one today. She didn't pick it. Like I said, this is a brand new one, so honestly I just want to play with this again because it's been so long. As soon as I apply this, I remember why I love it. It's such a good mascara. If you like spidery, clumpy lashes, you will love this. It's a natural bristle wand, so it's very different from the Maybelline one, which is a plastic wand. I just love it. So good. I'm just obsessed with this. Look, I'm so happy with all the things that she's chosen and all the things that I've chosen, because next is lipstick and another thing that we just didn't get to. So the choices were either Velvet Teddy by MAC, which I got for Christmas and I've just been obsessed with, wear it all the time. I didn't specify any lip liner, but that was option one, and the other option was the L'Oreal Paris Now What Are You? I Am Worth It Rouge Signature Ink Stain something. Can never remember the name of these, but if you have seen any of my other like favourites videos, this is up there. But I think with this look I want the MAC. I think I want Velvet Teddy because it's just basically my makeup for my wedding, which I've said 7 million times now, and I'm going to stop talking about my wedding. I know Velvet Teddy is such a classic. Literally everybody has tried it. I know when I was studying fashion many moons ago, all of the girls in my classes wore it, they all loved it, and back then I didn't used to wear any makeup at all. Like, I just can't even picture myself going to university, studying fashion, and not wearing a single scrap of makeup. Like, if I ever went into class just wearing mascara, they'd be like, oh my god, you look so made up. And yeah, now I'm obsessed with it. And I'm obsessed with this colour. I think it's maybe a little bit dark for my wedding. I'm not sure. I'm not completely sold on it yet, but I love this look. I think my cat has done so well. So that is me done for the day. I am so happy with how this has turned out. I mean, even the brows don't look crazy. Like, when the full look is done, they just look really soft, but I wouldn't choose to use that pen thing. It's just not my favourite, but I love this look. I think that this looks really nice. I wouldn't be mad wearing this for my wedding day, that's for sure. If I looked like this for my wedding day, then I would be really happy, and that was completely unintentional. That she just chose all of the things that I really like. So obviously she cares about me, even if she doesn't ever want to cuddle me. I mean, even now, she always wants to be in the room with you. She never wants to be by herself, but she doesn't ever want to be near you. She's on some shelves just to the side. So if you can hear snoring, I'm sorry about that. But let me know if there's any other makeup challenges like this that you would like me to see. I want to do the like 5-minute one. I want to do the no mirror one. I want to do, so many of those like makeup challenges. I think they look really, really fun. Like the one brush, the no brush, all of those sorts of different challenges. I really, really want to give them a go. So if there's any that you want to see, then please leave them in the comment section down below and I will be sure to do that. My face is hurting from smiling so much because I was so nervous about how this is all going to turn out. But I think my cat did really, really well. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Bye!